Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Sam, and today in our topic we are going to discuss about social media trends for 2019. It's about what are the contents that your audience would like to see from the contents providers for the year 2019. So let's get started with that. Right, so the trends is something that it develops every year, every month, every season, or it depends on every age. Like every 10 years, things change. So for next year, based on the last 2 years, or based on the last 3 years, or based on a few decades ago, uh, there are team who always analyzes and do their research. And today we're going to talk about what are the research that uh, the results that is going to be benefiting for people who are into social media or who are thinking about to starting their career in social media, and they want to know what kind of a trends they can uh, be with it. So um, today there can be a lot of things that you can expect in 2019 in terms of social media, but since last 5 years there has always been a progress based on the way uh, this internet platform is used, and every now and then we have up and you know coming companies like who are building their new applications platform to interact with people around the world. So businesses as well as freelancers as well as entrepreneurs are willing to take part into this platform. And so if you are someone who is willing uh, to take a business as a social media agency, or if you are a company, or if you're a professional, or you individuals who are looking for a trends that you can uh, get yourself involved next year, then this is going to be something that's you might want to look into. So we're gonna draw today uh, 4 points, right? So number one, what the contents that people would like to see for 2019. Contents audience want, right? So what are the contents that people really wanted? Number one is video. Okay. Number two is a research or articles or vlogs, blogs. Research content. Uh, News content. This would be educational contents, which can be online course content, or any educational content. Right? So I'm going to explain how and what are these 4 points are. But mainly today our topic we're going to include these four, the contents that the audience will be expecting or will be spending more time viewing, watching, researching, or following you. Um, and if you are into profession, as we said, if you're into profession as a dentist, chiropractor, a massage therapist, personal trainer, or anything, if you fall under one of this category, you know, if your profile meets under one of this category, then you might well just want to note it down and see where you fit in, so that you don't miss out the opportunity for the next year, right? So now videos. So let's start with the videos. What do we expect from videos? Well, there are a lot of people who are trying, you know, new experiment, new experience, basically, to try out, you know, things, and videos is one of the things that people are able to express themselves without saying a lot of things at the same time. For example, you know, we used to, back in the days, we used to have written text on articles, which used to be a newsletter, a magazine, or things like that, like books. But the generation changed, time changed. Then we moved into audio stuff. We moved into image stuff, you know, to do some kind of slide images and try to explain things. And then we use audio on top of that. But now, because equipments, the devices are more affordable, and there is a lot of stores, company that provides you things that you can buy easily these days. So people find it very easy way to express themselves or to share their story by taking video. And video is one of the contents which is going to be very much demanding compared to the past few years or the past years, you know. So it says that even in YouTube and also in IBM, they have, I have just read an article a while a day ago that they says they are expecting a lot of growth in video contents in 2019, right? So it can be anything, right? It can be anything. It can be of your vlogs, or your short movies, or your profile, things like that. So basically, if you're doing anything related to video, then that's one of the contents that people will be spending a lot of time in the next few years, or say we're talking about the next year, so let's say next year. And one of the good features about that, even Facebook have an articles which I have read, it says that Facebook says that most of the Facebook contents, the videos in Facebook, are watched most of the time with a low volume, and sometimes with no volume at all. So what it meant is that if the video is okay for people with the no volume, or without a low volume, or without a volume, which is basically no volume, then you really want to keep it short and sweet. So your video content has to be very short. Your video content has to be very short and sweet, and it should be, if you're trying to give some kind of storyline, or trying to tell a story, it should be very much easy way to, you know, get involved with the content. So it should be a very attractive content, a very good story. Okay, so as we were saying about for videos, low volume or no volume. So what does this say about low volume or no volume? Because most of the people, we are working out, we are working in our office, or we all work in places there where the company or our colleague, or the person next to us, don't want to hear what we are watching, and we don't want, you know, our things that we are doing to be heard by somebody. So we tend to just spend our time watching what we are doing with our own device, with our own uh, phone, tablets, and PC and things and like that. So the opportunity what we have seen here is with low volume and no volume contents, it is advisable if you can do a subtitle over there. Subtitle, right? So replace with a volume or no volume opportunity with a subtitle. So the subtitle can be English, Spanish, Chinese, whatever your audience you're targeting to. Say for example, if you are targeting with the majority of English speaking, then it is advisable in every contents of your video that you put a subtitle on that, and do have if you are uploading those contents in Google, or sorry, in YouTube, then you make sure that you have the subtitle or the category of the language selected as an English, and also you do have a, a subtitle for Spanish, Chinese, and other various languages across the world, so that you have more wider crowd to watch your video and your contents, and they do understand what you're trying to tell the story with your videos. So here's the three things that you have to keep in your mind: that video is the content which is going to be very, very much in demand in 2019, and what you have to do with this demand is, as we are going to have a lot of demand, there's going to be a good competitions in the industry. So what you have to be doing to stand at the top is that you need to make sure that you have a very good, short and sweet story that you want to express, and very clear media, very high quality media. You want to structure a very good story. You should be a very good storyteller, And then the third thing is that, as we were describing about, make sure that you are taking the opportunity of a low volume or no volume as a subtitle opportunity, so that in every contents of your video you mention translated or follow with English, so your crowd, if somebody is missing with the voice, the sound of the video, you still do not miss with what you are trying to say through text. So this is one of the opportunity that we have for video. And let's go to the next one is research contents. So what is research content? Research content is about exploring the curiosity of the human mind mentality, or the mindset, or the excitement of exploration. That's the whole mindset of a human being. As a human being, we are created to sometime to do things that have never been explored. We are people who like to discover. We are a species of people who like to invent. So this is what the technology, as we are able to interact with and use it and buy and afford it technology these days, it is not that hard for anybody to understand or get more closer to any topic or any subjects that they are interested with it. So back in the days, it was hard for any things to get into, if any research team has to share their exploration, the discovery, then it was a huge task of work that they have to go through to share to the world. For example, back in the days, like 20 or 10 years ago, if you are in a person who used to do a research with these architectures or species, it takes huge amount. Takes a lot of amount to first get your equipment, build your team, then do your marketing, and supply it to the TV channel, something like Discovery Channel or Animal Planet and all those things. These days we really do not require. It's a very easy platform. Either people give their websites to log into and watch their contents, or some people upload in YouTube. So basically what we are trying to say in this content is that research content. So if you are a person who who is interested in doing some kind of a research all the time, and you would like to share to the world, then do make sure that you have a really good content which has proof content. Proof content, and you have a backup for that. Okay, and you have the transcript, or if you are about to sell your research, your documentary, it's good to have everything, the resource that you have with yourself to be shareable to the market. So it's very exciting, you know, if people are very curious about what things are going on. So these days we are like most of the people in the western part of the continent, we think about of more of the aliens, you know, not the aliens of a different country, but from the extraterrestrials. So something like that, or we are more excited about the Egyptians civilizations, like who were what, or the African civilizations, or about the species that we haven't heard about it. What about like the dinosaur stuff, or what's still within the deep sea? You know, all those things are still very exciting for people, and it is always good to know to know that what we haven't heard about, and if somebody have did their research, it's always exciting, you know, for people to that's in our genes. So if you are trying to do some kind of a research, you have the opportunity here to share it to the world, and this kind of a content is going to be really on a good demand if you are into research about space, about the aliens, or about any civilizations, about any species, any landscape or weather or anything like that, you know, which is really interesting for the world to see. Then you have the opportunity to go ahead and have your own content and to share around the world. And there is always, if you do have a good content and if the world likes what you do, then there is always a way to do a monetize your resource, which is your content. Okay, so the third one is about news and articles. News and articles. Let me give you a very small example about, especially in developing countries. If you are from like kind of in a rural area, and or you live in urban area, or you say you move from the rural area to the urban area, you might have seen that there are a lot of places around the world that wants to know what's the current affairs of whatever the things is going on in terms of politics, business, cultures, ethics, foods, a lot of things, you know. So this is where you can always take a new chance. So let's say you are from a very small city and town, and your community, maybe your native languages are different, or your tribe is different, and nobody from your tribe understands like the second language, which is like English or anything else. Then you can be the person who are representing to your own community or to your own tribe by translating all those back into your own native languages, and then you can be an anchor for them who write news or articles for them. See, the world is spread out everywhere. People are sharing knowledges, updated from one country to another countries in terms of business, politics, and everything. So what we are missing right now here is that if you are living with, or if you have left, or you know a community who would like to read your contents, then you can be somebody who can convert, translate, help that community to be updated with the world. Or if you are interested in serving around the world, let's say you're from China, and then you want to share the Chinese news, it is very very good for that Chinese news to be converted, translated into English, or into Spanish, or into any other languages around the world, which you think wherever you want to target, you know. So that's the best way to be writing down or sharing your news and articles. This is one of the trends that people will be following around the world. I mean, we have a big headliners already. We have the CNN, CNBC, and all those guys are there already, you know. But these guys does not cover up the entire things, you know. They focus too much on the upper level of, I would say, or the cream part. At the bottom part of the glass there are a lot of things which people still want to know what's going on. So you can always build a team or uh, share contents with the people across the world, and be just like a freelance team. Whatever the commissions that you guys make through your blogs, through your channels, you guys share along with it, and always uh, update your contents in different languages, videos and all things like that, because people are moving around the world. You know, we travel, we move around the world. One family live one country to another country, one city to states, and one town to other village, and things like that. So sometimes we miss out a lot of news what's going on in a country or in a state, in the places where we are or where we used to be. So this kind of article and news is going to be very very much effective in 2019. So if you would like to be a part of this kind of a content creator, then you really really have a very good platform to be in, and always there is a way to monetize these kind of content. So number 4 is online course or educational online course or education training. This is one of the things that hits since 2016. It hits so good that people who did the first training, they missed out a little opportunity, because people weren't sure about whether should we go for this online training or not, because we have to give some kind of amount, deposit a card, and this kind of course were not easy, or they were easy to get registered, but because the amount were so high to enroll in their kind of those kind of a course, most of the people who have started this initially, like, you know, missed out a lot of opportunity. But then compared to the like 2016 2017, there was a good sales for people who were providing this kind of online courses for people who are busy or who couldn't afford the college or school, or colleges. You know, it's not necessarily that you have to go to college and learn all the things. For example, let's say Udemy.com. It's one of the website where you can get yourself enrolled and learn whatever you want to learn. And I think they do have the instructor who is going to be able to help you during the course period, that if you have any questions they will be able to answer you. Like we were saying, now if you would like to learn about how to start your social media marketing, or want to start your agency, or how to get a client, or anything like that, or of the course, how you want to learn how to write books, or how to do photography, how to do a video shooting, how to be a model, how to be a politician, how to be a good speaker, how to be an actor, how to be a sportsman, how to have a good fitness body and all those things. If you want to learn, really learn, it's much affordable these days. You can just buy like 100 to 200 copy with a 60 to 70 or 100 hours of videos with just a couple of $10-20. Probably it might just go up to $100 to $150. There are courses which are very expensive, but it's up to you how you want to enroll yourself that kind of a course, because it's up to you. To me, as far as I understood, most of the courses are available free. It's just up to us at how we use it, how we utilize it, and how we use in our daily life or in a business or anything that we do. So basically, online course, if you have some kind of a knowledge or Back in the day, it was hard, you know. You know something, you have been doing a lot of things, but you're not sure about it, whether what my experience is worth of anything, right? So this is what I have been encouraging from a couple of years, like people who are veterans, right? You know, who have been serving the country for few years. These guys are some. This guy, the one who can always tell you, give you a basic idea about, or give you training professionally, you know, through online as well, that how to uh, be a fit, you know, for this kind of training. If you are if you are like a veteran, then you can start writing your own course that should provide someone who is willing to be enrolling in the military or in armed force, that they understand what are the things, learning from the people who are experienced like you. So if you're veterans, you can always write your own, like, you know, online course and sell it to the world, and not necessarily just a veteran. If you're in any kind of profession, you can be a soccer player, you can be a tennis player, you can be a snooker, a billiards, pool player, you can be a good swimmer, you can be a good basketball player, or you can be a good runner, or you can anything. Anything. In your past, you would have been doing something that you have really, really loved to do. You learn it. You know, uh, there were a lot of people, or like people who have enrolled for a sports, want to be a baseball player, wants to be in a soccer team, wants to be in a football team, wants to be here, there, wants to sing, wants to play music, wants to do a lot of things. But not everybody is a player. Some become a coach, some become a manager, some become a player. So it does not mean that the most important story is about the player. Without the coach, the player will never perform that excellence, you know. And without the coach or the player, there is no use of the manager. And without the manager, there will never be a proper coach training program, or there will never be an exposures to the player for the players, you know. So everybody is equal. It does not mean who, you know, that you are managers, or you're a coach, or you're the main players, or you are the audience, you know. In this field, we all have the same status, I would say. As an audience, you can write an articles, you can write a lot of things about a training program, that what an audience can do, right? You know, or say, as an audience, what do you expect, you know, uh, when you watch a live match, or when you watch a live game. And as a coach, you can always share your story. As a manager, you can share your story. As a player, you can share your story. So it's about sharing your story, and you want to create that story in the contents of a training program, and that you want to provide it to the people who would like to enroll for it, and not necessarily that they want to be a sports person, they want to be a manager, the coach, or the audience, but they just want to know what it is. So for them, your content is very, very useful. So whatever the experience that you have got in anything, in any field, create your experience as the content of course, and provide it through online. Because I would say there's thousands and thousands and thousands of students out there, not necessarily students, of course, yeah, not based on the age. You know, there are people still who wants to learn things. So for them, they need you. If your experience can be shared through online, and if you can provide those experience as a training, that's what they are looking for. And educational training is what we were talking about. Online course is what we were talking about. But the other things which is going to trend 2019, what we would like to talk about is a gaming, online gaming. If you're somebody who likes to play online game, and you can always create online gaming tricks and trades on how to play the game, you know, Back in the days, we used to play in a God mode, so we never die. You know. But I'm not sure because I don't play the games online games anymore or video games anymore. But if you are playing video games or you like to play online game, there you can always train people, sell your course, show them how it's done, and those kind of content is going to be something that people would love to. So here we're gonna summarize what we have discussed today. Now, if you looked at it, the social media trends we have, number one is the video content. The second one we have is the research content. The third one is the news and articles. The fourth one is online course and education training. So all these things can be done by yourself without getting help from somebody else. It's all your self experience. You have to just create a content out of what you know and share it to the world. And the platform you already know it. We have a Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, rest of the things, thousands over there. So you can use those kind of a platform to express yourself, and at the same time, you will come across that how to monetize whatever the contents, the things that you are sharing. So, but for today, our training, we are trying to share to you. Trying to share to you that these were the contents that's going to be on a demand for 2019. So if you are some kind of a content creator, or if you're looking for a content to be created, look into these 4 points and create your own content today. If you like this information, please feel free and share me your comments at the comment section, and do like and subscribe to this channel for more content similar to or social media or digital marketing. Thank you so much for your time. You have a great day.